I was really disappointed. I had set out a goal for myself, and it wasn't possible. My goal was that I wanted to create a Garmin watch face for diabetics, such as myself. I'm type 1. Garmin is a smartwatch, and a watch face is like a homepage. Anytime you look at your screen like this, that's the watch face. Now, Dexcom and Garmin, Dexcom is the company behind my diabetes device that reads my blood sugars. They have a special relationship. And if I press the buttons in my watch a bunch of times, I can see my blood sugar, but can't see it immediately on the homepage. So that was my goal. In this speech, I'm going to go over how I pursued that goal and how I failed. But spoiler alert, the speech has a happy ending. Because the speech is also about pivoting when you fail originally with something and you can do something else. So, started coding away. I was going about creating my first watch face. I wanted to get all the data that I wanted. Heart rate. My heart rate's really high right now. Steps per day. The time, date, the battery level. I got all that on the watch face. All I needed was the blood sugar value. So I went to the documentation for Garmin. Documentation, also known as docs, is like an encyclopedia or a cookbook recipe. It shows software developers, such as myself, how to use software. And in this documentation, I looked everywhere for Dexcom and blood sugar. I couldn't find it. Now, this documentation, when I was going through it, had all these references to wheelchair mode for people pushing a wheelchair, like how many pushes a day. But I didn't care about that. I wanted blood sugar data. So I started talking to some of my friends. One of them was Gabby. She knew somebody who worked at Dexcom, this company in San Diego. And she gave me her friend's email. Unfortunately, that person didn't email me back. Then I talked to my friend Mitch. He works in tech sales here in Austin. He showed me this tool called Rocket Reach. And that's where I was able to stalk all these people on Garmin and Dexcom, find their first and last name, and I was looking for people who I thought would maybe help me. And then this tool gave me what their likely business email was. So I emailed over 100 people. Only one person responded. It was a person for HR and Dexcom, but she said, I can't help you.
Lawyers.
In my last desperate attempt, I plugged my watch into my computer and I attempted to hack it. And that's not possible. That's what I found out. Dexcom privatizes the blood sugar data. And to be fair to them, for good reason, in the age of AI, medical data is sacred. And they're going to want to be very sure who and what gives that data. And they're probably going to get paid if they're going to give away their users' data as well. So I failed. I couldn't accomplish this goal. What about that wheelchair data? I wonder if anyone had created a watch face for people in wheelchairs. So I went to the Garmin App Store and I typed wheelchair, both as one word and then two words, wheelchair. There was one result, but it was behind a paywall. And that didn't sit right with me. Charging people in wheelchairs for a watch face designed for them. So I thought to myself, why don't I create a watch face for people in wheelchairs, wheelchair watch face? And so I did. One of the first things that I wanted like a dynamic image, something with vitality, not stagnant, like a blue and white symbol in a handicap parking spot. And I found this cool moving image of people of something like a wheelchair symbol. And I put that in my watch face instead of the blood sugar value. And on November 6th, I published it. Closed my computer, job well done. The next day, I got an email from Brian. Who is Brian? He's somebody in the United States who has a Garmin watch in a wheelchair. And he emailed me thanking me for the watch face. But he had a lot of suggestions on how to improve it. And so I emailed back and forth with Brian. One of the things he wanted customization on the color that was around the watch face. He also wanted to see text messages. Got that all done. That was version 1.2. Brian loved it, but he found a bug in the color customization. So if you change the color from red to purple, it would take a while to load. So in version 1.3, I fixed that bug. Then reviews started to come in. Marcel wrote a review. He said, it was a long review of a lot of suggestions that he wanted, but he ended it with, "This is a great job, like keep it up. All right, Marcel, I got you." So in version 1.4, one of the things that I added was the ability to see the minimum and maximum temperatures of the day. Then Vagilis, he made a review. The original review was not in English. That was cool to have some user, I think maybe in Greece, I don't know. But he had a lot of suggestions as well. One of them, he wanted to toggle between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So I got that done in version 1.5. I stopped updating the watch face in January at version 1.6. And that's when I created an entirely new design. So users had 2 different designs to go through and tons of user customization, thanks to the people who corresponded with me. Now, at the beginning of the speech, I was real disappointed. I failed at my original goal, but I don't care about that anymore because this was cool and unexpected. As of today, it has over 1,000 downloads, and that's a big milestone for me. Like, you know, people have these Angry Birds apps or whatever, millions of users. That's not me here, but what I really was big for me was to focus on a very narrow set of users and to deliver something they could use. That's going to be useful for me moving forward. And the message I'm trying to convey here is that sometimes in life, like the Diabetes watch face, you will fail original goal. But if you move forward with a strong effort and good intentions, without a doubt, you will succeed in something else. Thank you.